being myself, I don't change a thing. When I'm being myself, then I win the game.
It's so easy. It's so easy now. Get out your own way. It's so easy when you break free.
It's just so easy.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 63 of The Treat Show. We have been missing stuff. It has been crazy, and I'm sorry, but I appreciate everybody in the chat still showing up tonight, believing in us. Thank you. And boy, I have missed you so freaking much. So, Michelle, it's so good to see you. Thank you. Rory, super good to see you too. Nick, Dirty the Grower, cheers to you. One cookie, I love it. Good evening. Noof, it's so good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I'm so glad that you got to catch the live as well. I'm glad that I got to catch the live. So, how has everybody's week been? What are you all smoking on? Oh, you know what? Could you actually do me a favor, potentially? Could you please grab me a drink and that bag, the black Dark Horse bag in the fridge? Possibly. With the dialed in gummies. Could I do a LaCroix? Please. Thank you. Sorry about that whole list, guys. This is a key component to this episode. So I want to show you some of the products that we got into the dispensary because we're going through, and Jason is going to go through it on his show a lot more in depth probably. But I'm going to review some products with you and see what your guys' feedback is. If you've tried them before, if you ever would try them, what are your thoughts? But yeah, we'll see tonight. We got a couple. We just got a couple. Yeah, let's see. Gerhardt, it's so good to see you. THC Garage. So I'm working on a real good show. I know that this is always the things that you guys hear, but I have been drawing out some of the thoughts on the new facility for Jason and you guys, and I'm very excited to display them to you and share them and also get your feedback. But it's taking me a little bit longer, and it's been a little hectic these last 2 weeks. So bear with me because I think the next episode is going to be great. I want to show you these designs on the back green screen. Try to give Dark Horse a pitch at the same time. Thank you so much. Thank you. See how it goes. Yeah. And then I also want to break down, which we'll talk about a little bit today while we're going through these products, is sometimes it can be overwhelming, I think, as a head grower to have to lay out a cycle or a schedule initially. And there's little tricks that you can do, I think, when doing this, when creating a cycle as a whole, especially if you have a big library. Yes. Or size restrictions, like limitations I think that we all run into, or where you have such a large scale that it's kind of difficult to get this rolling, or look at different options between like a perpetual harvest of trays versus rooms versus buildings, you know? I don't know. What do you guys think of this? I want to see your thoughts. I'm also going to roll this blunt really fast. I apologize. So I'm smoking Dante's Inferno tonight, and Dante's Inferno is interesting to me because it has a purple punch in it. And Purple Starburst also has the purple punch in it, which I am not the biggest fan of smoking, but a huge fan of growing it. But I like these crosses a little bit more, most definitely. But has anybody grown Dante's Inferno or smoked it out there? Because it definitely is so... Anything I feel like that is hit with purple punch, you get that little or big... inhale, exhale of just like sweet tarts or something. I think, Gerhardt, we can't wait to see you at the store. It's going to be so incredible. Guys, we have a grand opening coming up, but we don't have the date yet. We're waiting on a few things with scheduling, but I think it's going to be phenomenal. And we're going to be doing some cool stuff for the first 100 customers that I am looking forward to. You guys... Any suggestions, you just throw them on out there in the chat because I would love to hear them. Okay, so aside from all this shenanigans, let me give you also another update is I had my Department of Ag inspection. And you know, sometimes I feel so confident when these guys are coming in. Well, I would say most times, 99% of the time. I would be lying if I would say there's not a little bit of like, I want it to be perfect. But they came in and it was interesting to me. I was like, should we talk about this? Maybe it's not a long conversation on the show, but what the logs and things like that they actually require are and what they're looking for and some of the questions that they'll ask you. And there was definitely 2 or 3 questions that I was like, oh dear. Oh dear. What is the technical way? And I've done this forever, I feel like now, and I still am like, shit. And yeah, anyways, we use 25B products at our facility, so it is a very mild inspection, which is nice. But there were still a lot of questions. Have you guys like heard of like the triple rinse process? And if you have a paint sprayer or a dram or some sort similar, is you have to triple rinse the like device, which makes sense to me, but you have to triple rinse it into the plant the same way that you have to empty a bucket that you use for mixing. And she was like, you can use bleach, but she was like, you can't use bleach on your plants, so you shouldn't be using bleach in there. And I was just like, wow, this is like a 6 times rinse is really what this breaks down to. And I mean, I'm all for it being thorough. I don't know, I was thrown off by that question. I was like, oh shit. I was like, I know you gotta clean. I know the triple rinse. I know that it says exactly what it needs to have done. And anyways, little stressful moments like that. Have you guys ever had to do an inspection like this? Sometimes it's weird too, is the actual person doing the inspection or the actual county, that's weird too, to myself, is they'll be so particular about the strangest things. Like when I was in Boulder for a long time, they would always come in asking about the reservoirs. They would be like, show me that your reservoirs are labeled with what's actually in the reservoir in case anything is spilt or anything for that matter. And that they can, obviously everybody clearly identifies what's in the reservoir. But it's a great idea in theory. But how many grows do you walk into that are labeled A, B, and C, hypothetically, with an ingredients list on them? I don't walk into many. And anyways, that's one of the requirements. In Denver, I've never been asked that question. It's just never come up. But in Boulder, I get asked it every time they come in. So interesting to me. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. It's driving me crazy. My voice is already hard to work with. Now here we are. Sorry, guys. Kelly, yes. Skunk, okay. Skunk Glassworks. It is so good to see you. Stutter, Adu, and Godan, yes. This is my favorite squad. It is lovely to see you in the chat tonight. Thank you for making my week start off right. Yeah, those are my little bitches about these things. There was also some interesting things that she brought up regarding these logs. So I think that I would like to bring one of these logs on and our actual pesticides that we're approved for use of, the main ones, because the list is quite large now, or the products that we are not approved for use of commercially. And I think it'd be kind of cool to go over REI times and mix rates. She was talking about how it gets miscalculated very often, these mix rates, because you're using acreage or 1,000 square foot or more to calculate the mix rate off of, I would say pretty standardly. And so I was like, maybe this would be cool to have like a little cheat sheet. I definitely want to make cheat sheets now. But I think if we maybe do an episode where there's an easy equation that you could break down these calculations just to make sure that you're accurate, I think it'd be cool. Oh, let's see. I'll do and go, Dan. Let's see what you're saying. Gerhardt is into it. Let's go back up here. Molokai hash plant and strawberry starburst by Erie got the chop and a few days left to dry. Got a few of my crosses from Poppy Shoreline going into flower and testing my first autos I made. Dang, I do and go, Dan. It sounds like you're doing great because this is some professional, beautiful things I'm hearing over here. And these genetics sound lovely. I wonder if the strawberry starburst, does it pull, or are you smelling like actual strawberry? Anything to that? Is it like the strawberry cough? Or I was trying to think of another strawberry when I said that, but I was like, what is there besides the strawberry cough? Strawberry starburst. I want the SS in my life. Honestly, I want the regular starburst too. We were talking about it, and I was like, I'm going to have to go on a hunt. This is one that's necessary that I want to see solo as well. I'll do and go, Dan. Have you seen it by itself yet? Or because you're working with these crosses and doing all these cool pheno hunts and things, have you seen or worked with the original one? Because I have not personally, and I really want to. After running the purple starburst, I am so intrigued. So intrigued. Yes. So, I'd like to shout out Tark too. I don't think he's in the chat, but I hope Tark, I hope you're having a good week. And everybody waiting on clones. This is another thing. This is like the story of my life. Is we ran into a couple hiccups when we went on vacation. I have found that having somebody take care of clones that is not used to taking care of clones in any garden situation, or when somebody is supposed to water your houseplants, I don't know. Is there something about plants and water? Completely necessary, right? And I don't know what it is, but sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes they get watered too much, and sometimes you're more grateful for that than nothing. But then other times they just might get skipped, and I had some loss in clones. Okay. So I had to recut my orders, and my apologies. I know it's frustrating. I know that you have been patient. So, give me a couple weeks to get through all of this sorry, I have weed now all over my mouth. To get through all of the shenanigans we got going on, and I will email you or you email me, and I will make sure to get you new genetics and hook you up. Yeah, I will definitely hook you up for the inconvenience and waiting and trooping through. So thank you. All right. What else? I was trying to remember my checklist before I got too high, because you guys know that this happens. But I really just had to check in and let you guys know what's going on. I think the diagram on the green screen showing the floor plans is going to be worth the wait of that episode. I'm just telling you. I was trying to do it tonight, but then I was like, I'm going to miss all this information. So I want to show you these beautiful bags. Okay. My bag got a little crinkled. Okay. That it could be worked on. But Dark Horse, I am so proud of you. It's a start. It's a start to a beautiful and bright future. So let's open this goodie bag. There's Oleo. Who has heard of Oleo? They're a hash company out of Denver and pretty cool guys. These are one of my favorites. I'm pretty basic B over here, and this is the jam. Is Dialed In Gummies. I would say there's a little bit of competition to those guys nowadays as far as flavor, and rosin seems to be in every edible product that I see offered now. Not only, but yes. Let's see what else is in here. Here we go. Yes. All right. So, how do you guys feel about the carts? I have mixed feelings about the carts. This one is, let me show you the packaging, and then I'll open it. This is live rosin. It's very exciting. Let's see. All-in-one vape pen, guavas and bananas. So this is Bahama Bust Down, number 5. crossed with strawberry guava. Strawberry guava is one of my favorite cuts that is really tight in Colorado. I don't know anybody that really has it. Harry Palms is out of Colorado, so he's kept it really tight. I know that. Anyways, I do have this strain, and I absolutely love and hold her close, but this cross sounds amazing. Bahama Bust Down number 5. You know it's got to taste good if he's going through the time to find it. Let me open this so you guys can check it out too. I just don't know. The distillate, I know a lot of people bash on, but I also know a lot of people are using to smoke on a regular basis in comparison to buying some of these other products. But what do you guys think as far as flavor? Are you cart users? The 710 pen, I wish I brought my hash pen up here. It's amazing. Damn it. See these childproof shit. There we go. There we go, guys. Direct focus, positive attitude. Let's see. All right. So when they say all in one, this is very nice here. Okay. I can't remember the price at the store off the top of my head, but I feel like you guys would be surprised on how inexpensive they are. This one's total THC is 78.10%. I was trying to see if there's any other goodies I was missing. Well, okay. I feel like we can try it. We can try it. We should try it. It's got its little light. It's doing everything like everything else. All right. I taste. Let me try again. I taste a little bit of strawberry. It's very mild. I do pick up banana in here. I'm sure if we looked more into that Bahama bust down, I'm sure that we would see why. But I definitely am picking up. It really does taste like more like banana OG to me. Okay, the dialed in gummies. Let's move to here. So those who have not tried these edibles, I'm a pretty big fan. If you're not trying to get annihilated from edibles, I'm just being honest about this. They have higher milligram or doses on the medical side. Excuse me, got cotton mouth. They go all the way up to 1,000 milligrams on the medical side, and they're 50 milligrams per piece or per gummy. Let me show you. But on the recreational side, which is what we have, is they're 10 milligrams. And this is all live rosin, actually. And they're 10 milligram pieces that taste phenomenal. It almost reminds me of like Kool-Aid or something like that. Really good. Let's try it. Oh, these are huge. Only downside, okay? Sorry, guys. Just hang in there. This might take 3 more huge chews. Oh my goodness. Okay. I would say it was kind of like chewing a piece of Hubba Bubba. Okay. That is probably, it is a little big. I might personally try cutting these up next time. All right. Just going to be real about that. Oh, sorry. But they taste really good. Every flavor I've had, this one is the pineapple. It's Laser Cat. That is the hash extraction company that they use for their processing. They seem to be particular forever. They used to work with Scott really close at Rare Dankness. Back in the day, I'm sure they still do, but they seem to always work with like the Cool Kids Club and the bougiest groups because I guess they are part of it. Okay, I don't know if I can smoke this blunt and open this shit, but we're gonna try. Oleo. Here we go again. But their package is amazing. Let's see exactly what this is. Solventless purple marmalade. Tropicana cookies crossed with YU jelly. Okay. This is slightly confusing, but not. 90 and 120. Premium cold cured rosin. Total THC is 75.52. Total CBD is nothing. This is what these little sides look like. I don't know if you guys can see that. I do love the elephants, though. It's a good vibe going into this. I wish I had the Puffco or the Carta. Let's see. I got my Carta back on lock, guys. I'm pretty excited about it. Okay. These nice little square containers. I like how everybody started switching it up from the rounds. It's got their nice little tissue paper. Very classy. Okay, this is just the information I just read on the bottom. Let's see. All right. So, to me, the consistency is pretty buttery, it looks like. It's got a nice little color. You can see that purple in there. I would say from the Tropicana cookies. It seems to pull that, like, I don't know, like that pink almost. Well, I unfortunately am going to have to, like, roll this into something or come up with something crafty right now because I don't have a rig to try this. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. Didn't think this through. Okay, this one was my favorite box, though. You have to admit, this is amazing. This is also Oleo. The Sour D back crossed by Wilson number 6. So this one is, it's just weird, this 90 and 120. I usually there's only one listed. So it's the only thing I'm getting thrown off by, but 73.16. What do you guys think about these numbers in general? Does it help you gauge things? Does that help you see what's going on? Or, oh, look at this. Dang it, throwing stuff. So not only do you get the cute box, but they have a little dabber. It's adorable. That's adorable. That's an adorable setup. I'm pretty sure those are hearts pressed in. OMG, yes. I love it. I love it. I'm not going to say what I think it looks like, but I love what's going down. Okay. We're going to put this over here so you guys can see a little bit. Same container. It's very nice, though. Oh, okay. Ooh, this one's exciting. I just like when they have this type of color to them and almost like the sparkle. Maybe that is lame, but they tend to be those citrusy or diesel-y strains that I see like that. And I am a fan. Let's see. Maybe we could roll this. Nope. Well, it's a little too greasy. I'm sure that you could put it on a joint, though, and it would burn so slow and so fantastic. Okay, so these ones, excuse me, this company, New High, Glue Ball Live Rosin. Okay, so, I'm sorry. Yeah, it is called Glue Ball. Okay. It's GG4 crossed to Snowball. Snowball, I smoked Hawaiian Snow a long time ago and can't find it again. And I feel like anything now with the word snow in it, like, is there any correlation? Can I get this back? Okay, this one's all round. I like this as well. Smooth. Sexy. What do you guys think? And compliance. Recyclable. It's nice to see. And let's check it out. I don't know how you guys feel, but I am excited to try this bad boy. I think this one's nice as well. I do smell a little bit more of that, like, OG side out of this little lady here. I'm sorry if these are the worst descriptions ever. I'm really just a stoner deep down. We got a battery right there. It's not that impressive. What is this one? Okay. Patrol cookies. Ooh. GMO crossed to sour chem. That's what I'm talking about. This is the live rosin again. So beautiful. Okay. What is your first thought? Because you guys have to tell me, because I think my only thought right now is how I wish I had a Puffco or something to smoke out of. Okay, this one is TS Labs. Very, very nice here. Very nice. What is this? Live rosin cold cure hybrid. 1 star full spectrum. 71.69%. Terpenes are 5.54%. Sounds chirpy. Ooh. These consistency, I'd say the consistency of them is nice to work with compared to some of like the wax and crumble and even shatter from back in the day. I think it's funny to me that everybody has switched to solventless when everybody at one point only wanted solvents of every kind. So these ones are more cards from Olio. Rudy Tooty, Strawberry Sweets, Rainbow Jelly, Jelly Roller crossed with Rainbow Sketty. I'm not even sure what Rainbow Sketty is, but what do you guys know out there? It's got to be something. It's got to be something delicious. I don't know where they come up with these names anymore. There used to be all those rules. Do you guys what is your thoughts on actually naming weed? Because there was actually rules to how breeding and how these names actually took place, and the parents that you were supposed to begin the name, off of. Here we go. Rudy Tooty. These are nice when you're on the go, I feel like. Just screwing really fast. All of these little things are compliance. I believe that nobody would have wanted these things to be crashing their branding party, but some of these other stickers that we saw, all these compliance things that we love. Anyways, yeah, you guys can't really see my pile like this. I'll work on some things as always. What was I just gonna tell you though? Felt like we were on to something. Well, going back to the blunt, because I totally forgot. Let me scroll down on the chat, guys. You have surpassed me. Oh, Michelle, thank you so much. You guys don't understand how much it helps me when you guys like the show and on Future Cannabis Project. I appreciate you guys so very much. And it helps both of our platforms. Dark Horse Genetics, you got to obviously follow them, which you probably already are because they're cooler. But I'm excited that we're becoming the Dark Horse fam. And I think when you guys see the grow plans, is this transition we're going to be doing together, essentially moving all of these new plants over there, the cloning method from like start to finish. I know that I really wanted to follow up with that originally, but we've got new cameras and some things to work with that will make this a much better experience for you, I promise. And I think just, kind of diving into how we actually do things. There's been plenty of times on Instagram or other social media platforms that something will come off like the wrong way, or somebody has a different opinion or some of these different thoughts. And it's like, I would rather show somebody like why we do these things, particularly explain the thoughts behind it. And even if people still disagree, that's okay. But I think it's better if you could just see it from start to finish. And especially this first harvest. It's going to be so exciting. There is nothing more exciting than filling up a brand's company's dream and being a part of it coming to fruition. I know Jason has worked so hard and been in this since the beginning. And I think this is finally the store and grow that we've all really been, praying for. I think this is the time. So to be able to put these genetics into a way much larger facility, to have the potentially to take something that two other facilities, other companies completely have operated out of, and it's not worked out for them. So we know there's some challenges ahead. I'm sure that those guys were very experienced and knowledgeable as well. But it's kind of exciting because I'm like, what if we're the first people to switch this up? out of here and really show this building's potential, because that is what I think. I think this is just going to be beautiful. I have some suggestions to give to Jason as far as strains that we should run. And I'm leaning more towards SFV and like I-95, Blue Dream, Jack Herrera, Durban Poison, like Golden Goat, some of these more traditional strains. Of course, Bruce Banner. Of course, we're going to have the 3 and the 5 all the time. But we're going to really push Skittles and the Rainbow Belts. We're pretty big fans of. Some of these newer genetics as well. I don't know. But I really want to be a staple, and I know Jason does. But I think out of Denver, it would be incredible to be able to go into a store again and actually get some of these strains that haven't been crossed. And it's kind of backwards because we all love, obviously, genetics and breeding so dearly. But I think it would just be nice to see the classics again and actually be able to just go like pick them up. We'll also be selling clones out of the store, guys. So that's going to be amazing. They will be available to everyone. Excuse me again. Just all over the place. Okay. Greetings, friends. Peace of mind farming. Yikes. Oh, dear. Thank you, Gerhard. I'm doing my best to learn. Honestly, that strawberry starburst is wild. This one didn't get super strawberry. It's a melon mixed with Avon skin, so soft herb. That's hilarious. I wish that Adu and Godin, you could be my reviewer over here. I think that you would really break it down. Oh, these are awesome. Joseph Anthony, it's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming into the chat tonight, stopping by for the show. I really appreciate you and miss you. Gosh, guys, sorry. I like my flower. Let's see. These, just knock them all in the trash and smoke a blunt already. Oh, Joseph, you know me. You know me. I'm always like, can I put this in a blunt? That's always my first thought. With any form of hash. It doesn't matter if it's leaking, dripping, waxing, crumbling, pressed, unpressed. I'm super particular about the quality of hash, yes. But no, can I smoke it? Rory, so good to see you. We get that disposable cart here in Oregon for $25 to $30. Rory, that's the perfect. I think that is exactly where those bad boys sit at. We do have carts that 710's cart. That's why I wish I brought it up. Actually, that one's $90, and it's our most expensive cart. I will say that we got it in Skittles, and they have a limited batch. And obviously, we're big fans. Jason, the biggest fan of Skittles. So yes, I would say they do have this little range, but that's the bougier side of the carts. Same with Dab Logic. I believe his carts are either 70 or 80 out the door. I have to double check, but they're both phenomenal though as far as flavor. I'm a smoker that clearly I smoke too much, but I'm a smoker that I couldn't afford to smoke what I wanted if I was smoking some of these things. I will be honest and say that I really enjoy their 710's cart a lot. But I will also say that Dab Logic has kind of been my favorite. But I could never, if I had one of those carts, I would go through a cart a day. Easy, I think, if I wasn't smoking blunts. And I'm not Britney Spears, so I feel like it wouldn't add up. But sometimes I also feel like my blunt habit is expensive as well, though, and I forget that. I don't know. I guess smoke them if you got them is really the motto. But if you're going to be smoking, this is how I feel about popcorn and shake, right? Everybody like cringes that grows fireweed and loves weed, right? Everybody's like, ew. Or at least that's how it had to, like, it used to be. But the truth is I'm like, if you're smoking blunts or joints and you're really smoking all the time, like most times of the day, you should probably smoke those things. Your tolerance, there's like multiple factors that go into it. Like if you're smoking the most fire weed all day, every day, that's extremely potent. It's gonna suck because I think your tolerance is just not gonna be able to enjoy it anymore. But I think if you're there for the terps, the flavor, there's no argument there. Then, go crazy. But yeah, I think budget-wise, nowadays we all gotta be conscious of some things. And those carts are at a great price point. And they taste good. They taste really good. It's not just an edible, it's a meal. That's how I felt, Joseph. I was like, shit, I thought this was gonna be a good idea to try this. And then I was like, I forgot. I honestly don't eat edibles very much. I'll eat them sometimes just to eat them. Like in forms like this, I don't feel that strong of an effect. If I ate the whole, or half the container or the whole container, yes, I would be high. I would definitely be too high, probably too high. But I remember just back in the day, Edipure was a huge company and they had all the candies. It was like Swedish Fish and like lemon drops and all kinds of shit. And I just remember I could eat like 3 or 4 bottles of candy because we'd all get the munchies. And there was like 10 of these things per container. I don't know. I get wild. And I feel like they would fuck you up after you ate that many. These, I feel like they're probably the heaviest effect, body effect wise, to me, out of the edibles I've tried on the recreational side in gummy form. Obviously, if you eat things that are like brownies or particular, I guess just like fattier items, is they actually do hold on to your metabolism differently. They hold on to everything differently. It takes longer for the effects to kick in, but they're also a heavier of an effect and they'll last longer. So that's amazing. But then if you get a mint or like a sucker or something, that's actually a completely different way of entering your body. So if you put it in your mouth, that's the thinnest point of entry, is under your tongue, it's going to immediately hit your bloodstream. So it's weird, but those types of edibles I've seen are like 5 milligrams or 2 milligram mints or 10 milligram lollipops. The thing is they'll hit you a lot faster. Within 10 to 20 minutes, you should start to feel the effects of those things. The mints and things you can almost feel instantaneously. It's amazing. But they go away really quickly from what I found too. So I like it though, because then you can like dose in and dose out without getting too crazy. But I also think some of the topical or some of the mints and things of that nature, lollipops, I think that they have kind of more of a sativa. I was trying to think of the easiest way I could put that, but more of an awakening effect, or like you really do have a little bit more of a burst of energy, I'd say, in the psychoactive effect, I think, more than the body effects that I'll get from some of the other heavier edibles. It's the shittiest description probably ever, but let's just move past that. Val Bundy, dang, so happy to see you. I respect you. Oh. Yo, Grumpy, this is funny. Snap one of that one down, yes. Cheers, Grumpy. DP907, that's dope. Great packaging, that's very nice. The Molokai. Gosh. The one I fell in love with. She smells like burnt rubber and healthy soil, just like she should. Tastes like it smells, but better and a little sweeter, smoother than you would think. Now that sounds really nice. I've been looking for something a little bit more unique lately. Is the Boo Kush, the reason I go on and on about it, and the reason that I've bred with it repeatedly and probably will continue to. I don't sell this cut. I don't share this cut. I feel it's only because she's such a unique terpene profile to me. It is Cotton Candy Romulan and Ghost OG. And it's strange, though, because I don't think you actually taste what you would imagine. It is almost like a glue to me, like not even Gorilla Glue, but like actual glue smell to me. But it's such an OG, like affects the way it grows, but it almost has a little bit more sweet. I don't know. It stands out to me tremendously, and it's been one of the very few strains to do so in so many years, like such a long time frame. Versus when I hear you talk about this, I'll do and go, Dan, is I think that burnt rubber smell is why I thought of Boo and the chokeberry and stuff, is because I love, for some reason, that smell and taste of weed. I love it more than anything. And it's very hard for me to come by. But I am jealous. I am jealous right now, okay? Oh, I like the Chinese takeout box. Thanks, Fel Bundy. I think that they did a really cute job on that. I want some great peace of mind farming. That's awesome. Get the dab break fired up. Rory, that's what I'm talking about. I need the buddy system in here. Oh, like some good old school herb. Thank you, Adu and Godan, because that's exactly what I think. It would just be cool to fulfill that. Sometimes you're just craving that. just a go-to. I've noticed there's certain days that it makes me come off like such a loser to me, or in my friend group, but I'm always like, I want Durban Poison, or I want Jack Herrera, or I want Golden Goat. Those flavors, that flavor I really enjoy. Not all the time, but when I'm trying to like keep busy or I want to do like an art project or write or something like that, I'm like, get me these strains. I think that for me personally, they motivate me in a way where I just feel more like artistic, more like stimulated to go do something or creative or something. Versus I love an OG, I love an OG. There's probably nothing it's untouchable, but it's just nice when you can go and when you're craving whatever you want. If you can just be like, I want an OG on Monday, but I want my Durban on Tuesday. It's just such a good, yes. Joffrey, I'm so glad that you said OG though. I really freaking am. Fancy ass treat show. Oh, Buzz Swan, you're my fanciness. Oh, thank you. Dr. Leb, leave me alone. Sorry, it just all came together all at once, and that is just amazing. Grape snow cone, yeah, but that is fire. Let's see. Disbanded Brotherhood? What? What is that you say? Oh, I am so excited. So excited. Arizona Grows, yes. I cannot wait. Cannot wait for our next show. I think Arizona Grows, you might like it. Total Sarah Connor vibes with the hair. You can tell she's been getting shit done. That's what it is, Arizona Grows. I'm like, I want to be a woman, but lately, I am wearing this hat because I have missed my hair appointment 3 weeks in a row, and I am just so impressed that you know this. It's very, very depressing. Tomorrow's the big day. Crossing my fingers. I'm just saying, we really have thought about it. We were like, this is probably the busiest, hardest month that we've had in our entire lives, or at least that's how it feels. And it has just been lots of things, just lots of ridiculous obstacles, but then also really exciting things, but just so much at the same time. It's just amazing when you run out of hours for reals. I know that you guys can relate to this, is when it's just, I don't know, is you'll be like, I'm going to get through this to-do list and I'm going to enjoy Friday or something. And it's like, that to-do list it just never ends. It just never actually ends. And then nothing when you're like, I'll just prioritize it all and I'll take a little moment in between. Nope. We got lapsing. I think Jason and I are sleeping like 3 or 4 hours a night for like the month of July. Oh, it's going to be okay. But I promise the next show is going to be much better when I have it all together. Slept, green screened. You guys are going to dig it. And if you don't, please let me know too. But I think this is going to be good. Colorado Frost, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Don't buy green weed. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Colorado Frost. People do not buy green weed anymore. That is what is hard as a grower. Is I love all these purple strains, Dante's Inferno. Somewhat will pull like a purple appearance because of that purple punch that we talked about, but not. Still got some green in there for sure. But it's that flavor that I'm seeing for the last 5 years. That's probably all these cakes and pies and treats. Is I think that it's not that it's not good. I don't want to like say like, and these most of these strains grow pretty resiliently and just the way you want, stack really nice, all this good stuff. But the thing is, I think that flavor gets diluted down when that's like all these strains are crossed with or really similar. That's why like the Z by itself, the Skittles by itself is just my favorite. I love the purple Starburst is a hard close one because some rounds of it will really actually pull louder than the Skittles by itself. You get that flavor. It's slightly different, but it will be really, really bold sometimes. And it's a little bit more vigorous of a plant for sure to grow. It's a lot easier. It's not so susceptible to having problems or just things interfering with its overall health, I'd say. It's good. But the Z by itself, I'm just like, this is phenomenal. Like, of course you want to cross it. Of course I want to cross it with all kinds of shit. But then I'm like, no. Like, no. Is maybe in like 10 years when it's not so popular, or in 20 years when everybody's maybe forgotten about it, then I would cross it. But some strains I just really appreciate solo. And it's weird because as a breeder, younger, all I wanted to do was cross all my favorite strains to all my favorite strains. And now I'm like, should I do this? Should I go down this path? Is it really worth the years of investment into hoping that this is unique in all of these characteristics? Is usually my runs literally take like 6 years to really complete or longer. And I think that is why sometimes my seeds have been more expensive in the past than a lot of, I don't know, it's just the time that goes into it. And you really want something to really, really stand out and show your love, I guess really represent what you fell in love with in the plant as well. Where I think a lot of the breeders nowadays, even some of the greatest breeders out there, is I think everybody started just hitting stuff pretty fast or pretty often, too frequently maybe, where it's not that they're not incredible strains coming out of it. It's just you don't have time to enjoy them or, until the guy's on to the next. And honestly, this overall puts your garden at risk. I was talking to Jason about this pretty in-depthly with writing out the news cycle and working on these things is, I think, you're jeopardizing your garden every time you take in genetics, right? And even if they're from somebody healthy and all of those things, is that there's something about this acclimation period that I'd like to talk about more and bring a guest on actually to touch on this with a couple different growers. Is there's this weird adjustment, almost like getting them to acclimate from clones into a normal room. I've seen it with tissue culture fail countless times. I think you can bring strains into a space that have been really resilient in another space and really happy, and both spaces not have insects or any like powder mildew issues or anything like that going on, and you bring them in and they automatically stop drinking. Or I don't know, some of these other little obstacles. I'm trying to think of some more casual than like pest and disease issues necessarily, but they'll just be your funky dudded out plant. You'll get it all healthy and then it'll start like, doing its little dud thing and shrinking, and you'll be like, what the fuck? But I think sometimes they just grow comfortable in their space, acclimate, I don't know, fully acclimated to their environment. And I think that they'll flourish. But when you have to actually switch out all of the times that this is like hyphae or a new breeder all these guys are our friends, and I think everybody's close enough with each other that we could, I don't know, we can get all the clone onlys, or we could get everybody's cuts, and we can collaborate and do some of those things, which is phenomenal. I think was the dream. But now I'm just like, why don't we just pause and embrace the strains that are being forgotten and the strains that we've even bred ourselves, and really, really dig into these pheno hunts and see, yeah, make those staples, from the true classics to the new, but yeah, meeting in the middle, I guess. Is I was like, it's not saying that we're never going to bring in new genetics. I was just like, I don't really want to do this though. If I do this, we should do it once a year and bring them into our cycle. Once we, fully have mommed them up a couple times and flip them in a smaller space, all of those things, I think. But to actually keep bringing in new genetics and trading or doing all of this stuff, I'm saying within the industry, I'll definitely do that with the homies. But I think commercially, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. If you have like a hidden russet mite, or really you're combating those things outside in the summer, no matter what. Spider mites right now, I know everybody is struggling with. We personally do not have spider mites, and I am so ecstatic, and I probably shouldn't even say it out loud because God knows what's going to happen after this. But, excuse me, is every grow and grower that we have been talking to has spider mites recently, and it's just such an irritating pest. It's not that they all don't have their irritating moments. There's also some moments I feel bad for all these little guys. But it's just seeing webbing on some of these guys' plants, or just the damage that they cause. Even russets. Russets, those are little sneaky fucks, I feel like, in Colorado at least. I'm sure everywhere. But because it's so difficult to see them with your naked eye, I think most times you see it from the symptoms in the plants or the decline in the plants when it's kind of, I don't want to say too late. It's finely lined, never too late to at least save stuff. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know. You guys tell me some of the strains that you would like to see us carry though, because I'm probably going to contradictingly go after all of the strains that I could possibly imagine wanting. And the boys and Jason and everybody really determining what would be best and listening to your guys' input. And yep, I think I'll make those things happen. Kim Painter, I missed you. I missed you so much. Oh, half-gram live rosin is more money. Thanks, Rory. That it's more expensive. I can't remember on the rosin. I'm just so glad that you're keeping me on track with those things. I can't remember if it was 35 and 45. Oh, guys. I'm sorry. I'll come back to this. I love Skittles, Michelle. That's so awesome. Bring back the gas. Oh, Owl Telescope Uranus. That's so nice. The gas would be nice. I appreciate that suggestion. Jason has this really, really old sour diesel. I know a lot of people are claiming and saying these things, and maybe they definitely do, but he actually has a cut that is just so old, from basically like a deadhead kind of guy that held on to it forever. And I feel, I think that you guys would be very impressed with how much this is like just the classic diesel. It grows like it, which is, there is pros and cons to those that love and grow diesel. The cherry diesel is my favorite. Okay, if Daniel is in the chat or listening to the show this week, I just want you to know, thank you so much. I sold a cut to the nicest person, and I had to ask for it back, and he is sending that, and I am so grateful. I also have another good friend, William, who has helped me out this week. I would like to say that he helped me so large with the classic I-95. So I was on the hunt to get those ones back and really make sure that they were the real cuts. And I'm just ecstatic. But those that have not grown cherry diesel, she grows so vigorously in comparison to the sour diesel. But I still love the way that the diesel grows. No, Brittany. Oh, you guys are funny. Making me blush. Let's see. Moonbow or Rainbow Belts or Oshi from Archive are everywhere here in Oregon. Love them strains, tasty and stony. Yes, Rory, I'd have to agree with you. We run the shit out of Archive stuff. That is one breeder, Fletcher, that we are very partial to, huge fans of. Always will be. You gotta respect the guy. Is in everything that he's dropped. Especially the Rainbow Belts. I will say that Rainbow Belts is something that I can smoke, and just don't get tired of. I keep cutting huge rounds of it. It's just amazing. I really love her. And the Watermelon Runs, Scareheart. You like the Rainbow Belts and the Watermelon Runs? That's what I'm talking about. The Watermelon Runs, I have smoked, but I have not grown. I wonder how it grows. I bet it grows nice. Anything with that runs seems to be pretty. Northern Lights. Oh my gosh, Gerhardt. I would do anything for the Northern Lights. I used to have the cut, and when I got broken into, they took it. But I feel there's something. The Northern Lights almost reminds me of, like, you guys probably aren't going to think the same, but cat piss. Cat piss, as far as not necessarily flavor, but they would get these hairs. Like, the cat piss got this, like, the really bright orange hairs. And I think that the Northern Lights had these really amber, like, trichomes in comparison to some phenos I've seen of, like, the Northern Lights later and things like that. It was almost like brown. Like, I don't know how to describe it because that makes it sound not appealing. But instead of just like green weed, it's not like a rotting thing. Okay, let me clarify and underline this. It's just where the trichome heads and the hairs of the actual weed are almost like tinted, like they're like brunettes. That's the best way I could describe this. But it's so light. It's not like aggressive, I guess. But I seen those characteristics in the Northern Lights and loved it. Loved having it when I was at Harmony. Is we had it there, and as far as extraction goes, it just seemed to dump. It was just phenomenal. I let my blunt go out. Tacky. Been doing that. You guys know. Disbanded. I miss Beasters. God, you need to go to Roatan, Honduras, because you know what? I completely agree with you. And then when I went there, I was like, this is the most grateful. I felt like probation is the only comparable thing to not being able to smoke. And then the weed that we found just being like, is this weed? Is this weed? I guess it's weed, but like, is this weed? It was tough. That was the only time Jason was excited to hit a blunt. Like, we tried smoking it every other way, and he was like, no, this is the time a blunt is necessary. It's like, dude, everybody can hate, but a blunt, delicious. If you put some fire ass weed in a blunt, just like anything else, you don't not taste that. Crazy. It's like getting a guitar and don't have time to play it. Yes, Dr. Libby alone. Yes, that's exactly how life is feeling right now. I got all these new toys. Guerrero Grows, it's so good to see you. THC Garage, yes. Oh my gosh, and Rosin Dogs. Mrs. Rosin Dogs better be there. I'm so happy to see you. How are you guys doing? How is the store? How's the weed market up there? I feel like, are you guys doing better? I see you got thrips. Just kidding, Rosin Dogs. I feel like if Rosin Dogs was to come in, though, and you were to tell them that you have a bug problem, I feel like Rosin Dogs would just burn it down. Just kidding, Rosin Dogs. I don't know. But Rosin Dogs also has, like, everything you'd probably ever need and more to kill a pest. So you should hit up Rosin Dogs if you need if you need to kill thrips. Thrips, so, well, we've talked a lot about thrips, rosin dogs, and I know you don't want to talk about it now, but thrips, I'd say the easiest one to just like annihilate them pretty fast is either Pyganic or Azamax. The Azamax takes longer to kick in and actually kill the pest. It takes about 4 days. So you'll see movement. You'll be like so upset. You'll spray and then you'll be like, why is everything still alive? And it really will not be that way in just 3 to 4 days after the application. Everything pretty much dies. It covers a very large spectrum. Spider mites, aphids, russets, just thrips, all the things. Pyganic is another one that is just phenomenal for wiping out shit like that. Whenever I use Pyganic, if I really have an infestation, I'll rotate those two products, but you have to space them out 2 weeks though. Just note to self, okay? Trust me. And you want to make sure your lights are off for at least 6 hours when you use them. But just read the label. If you have any other questions, you just let me know. And they work great. I'll show you on the IPM. I'll show you when we write it down. Or on the screen when we go through everything in the SOPs. Like, I'll just show you what I'm talking about. I got a whole plethora of things to show you. It's probably gonna be a long show. Maybe I'll bring somebody on with me. We do have a couple new guests though that will be joining us this upcoming month. I'm very excited, but I'm not going to jinx it by telling you. Joffrey, people roll a banana leaf all day but won't smoke a blunt. Joffrey, I love the way you think. And banana backwoods, delicious. Absolutely delicious. You know, I feel, Tark, it's so good to see you. Thank you, Tark. I was hoping you'd be in here. Is Selton Sea Seeds? Appreciate you, Grumpy. I love that you appreciate Grumpy too. Everybody in the chat, applaud to you, Grumpy. Freaking awesome. Yes. Michelle, I was thinking about you this week too. I was like gardening outside, thinking about you and Kim Painter. Just wishing my girls, ladies, were here with me. Such a nice afternoon. Except for it's been hot as toast out there. Super friggin' hot. Yeah. Well, if my blunt, I thought it was me. My blunt just, I'm not getting her going good enough. Or is she just going out? But, Tark, it has been crazy. It's been a wild world out there. But I think we're moving in a great direction. We're going to have some new lists. I think next week I'll shoot to show you guys officially what I'm talking about. And I'll release the clone list. I'll tell you how we're going to be moving forward in doing that so that you don't have to wait all this time and all this shenanigans. I think it's going to be easier for you and for myself. I'm going to have special drops too. For everybody that watches the Treat Show, you have to hit me up on Instagram. And I have a couple new emails I'll release next week because they'll be on the screen. Be easier. For the show, for questions, for clones, for all the things, okay? And I think it's going to make it good for both of us to be able to communicate better. I have some people that have sent in some photos as well that they would like me to post on the show. What do you guys think of that? Because I think it's fantastic. But I was going to see if maybe we just make it part of the show, you know, where we have like at the ending or the beginning or I don't know, whatever you guys are into. You let me know. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. Ooh, I would really, really appreciate if you guys could send any suggestions in the comments below of what products you would like to see on the shelves or what products or companies are you curious or interested about or questions. You just let me know because I really, it would be tremendously helpful right now to hear from you guys. Yes, my trusted squad. Well, I guess we should get out of here, even though I don't want to, is I've just got too many exciting things to show you, and it's fucking up my show today because I don't want to say them all without my awesome diagrams. Okay? But if you guys have any other particular questions or any particular questions before the next show on how to build a cycle or how to mix anything or IPM, I'm going to show you my IPM. I think that would be easiest. And we can build it together, you know? We can add to it as obstacles arise, because they will. That's the beauty to a garden. Is, so we can start with focusing on a couple pests that we all combat and disease issues perhaps. Powder mildew, things that are, I guess, a little bit more common. Root aphids, things like that. But if you guys would like to talk about, we'll talk about climate, temperature of the water, temperature of the rooms throughout the process, including curing and things like that. Things that I would suggest to look into if you're somebody that's looking to look into something to adjust for your curing process. If you're somebody that's totally dialed in all these ways, the show's probably going to be boring too. But I think it would be helpful. I think it would be helpful to me. I do. And I would appreciate it so much if you guys chilled with me while we break down irrigation times and how we're going to stack irrigation or not, or if you have different mediums such as soil versus cocoa versus rock wool. You guys, I'm pumped. But you let me know if you're not pumped. And how to get you there. Robert, Mr. Greenfingers, thank you so much for showing up today. You guys really mean so much to me because Chad Westport, yes, thank you. It has been so hard to make it in time, and I know that I was switching around the show, but the show and both platforms mean so much to me. And this is going to be the time where we actually get to start launching some of these ideas, and you guys get to see them finally come to fruition on the Treat Show. So you just hang in there, and I hope you have a beautiful week, and thank you for hanging out with me. And my outro is probably not going to work. And peace and love.
Trip, no.